It seems like Kirby's 30th anniversary isn't quite over yet. Out of nowhere, Nintendo just announced a brand new Kirby spin-off title called Kirby's Dream Buffet, a competitive action multiplayer coming this summer. Although we probably do not have to wait very long until the release, there are still some details worth pointing out. So let's dive deep into the trailer and discover the many delicious mysteries of this gourmet race. The trailer starts off with a short CGI sequence showing the premise of the game. After Kirby gets magically shrunk by touching a fork, he finds himself in a state similar to his buddy in Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. This isn't much of a problem though, as the glutton quickly realizes there is a lot more cake to eat if you're smaller. He isn't the only one though who fell for the taste, as many other Kirbys try to reach the top of the pie as well. The whole opening sequence, which might be the intro of the game or is just used for trailer purposes, captures the game's identity right from the start and even manages to implement the, at this point, iconic Kirby white eyeball expression. The colors of the other Kirbys seem to be chosen randomly, as they follow no particular pattern from past titles, with the exception of yellow Kirby being typically the second alternative. This is emphasized by promotional material, where we can see additional types like brown or cyan Kirby, basically confirming there are going to be multiple examples. After this introduction, we jump to our first insight into actual gameplay, which is quite different and not based on any past spin-off from the series. Going by the official description and scenes in the trailer, each competitor needs to eat as much food as possible in each round in order to win a final battle at the end. This structure is extremely reminiscent of Kirby Air Ride, where it was necessary to prepare your stats before fighting off the other players in a minigame at the end. Going back to the first scene, there are immediately quite some details to point out. First and foremost, the presumably Master Hand is going to return in the Kirby game after appearing in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror the last time properly. It seems like he will only announce the start of a race, but it's also certainly possible he can act as some sort of obstacle along the way, or during one of the brawl sections. With this being a 4-player game, additional Waddle Dees function as basic CPUs and will most likely simply make the racing course more alive and let the last player not feel as bad as he should. One of the Waddle Dees even wears a little hat, so it might be possible to unlock some costumes for the different Kirbys as well. Right now we cannot tell if these Waddle Dees are also playable or if there are any other playable characters like Meta Knight or King DDD, but seeing how this is a very brief trailer, there might be still a chance. Another thing to point out is how everyone is able to move before the starting line is opening, so players on the backside should not suffer from any disadvantage. This is also where we get our first glimpse to one of the 3 food-themed stages. First we have a cake land, later shown during the boost section again and another time when yellow Kirby tackled his way through. After that, an ice-themed course may focus on slippery grounds, whereas the third stage is based on hearty meals. We also get the confirmation that it's possible to perform a rather bouncy jump, as Green Kirby tries to gain the upper hand. It seems like this is the only move Kirby is able to use at any time, as any other technique is based on a power-up or environmental hazards, like the boost platform shown afterwards. With this boost, you can not only speed up your momentum, but attack other Kirbys as shown during a later part. At least that is what it looks like. If you look closer, you can see yellow Kirbys formed like a donut, revealing yet another food-based ability. Counting in the chocolate one, which basically functions like Stone Kirby, and the muffin one, we have 3 confirmed types of power-ups. These power-ups, however, seem to be manually activated due to how Kirby simply uses them after jumping without killing enemies or copying their abilities. Perhaps every Kirby gets a power-up chosen beforehand at the start of the game and can decide when to use it, or maybe they are linked to these mysterious gourmet blocks placed throughout a course. They also might serve as checkpoints, but seeing how you could easily avoid them in this section, they are most likely linked to a skill. It's also proven by the fact that you have a choice in this moment, either taking the risk and going for the presumably more challenging route and using the cannon for a shortcut but missing out on a skill, or preferring the safe route and gaining a power-up instead. Speaking of collectible items, what about the core feature of the game, eating food? To win a game, it's not required to be the first, but the heaviest according to the final moment in the trailer. This is accomplished by eating as much food as possible throughout the stage, like strawberries or cherries. Sometimes you come across special treats with numbers depicting their weight. This also basically assures that weight will be based on a simple number, and seeing how this special strawberry cake is guarded by a sugary Gordo, you often will have to choose to use the safe way, getting lesser points, or living dangerous and risking taking a hit. We still don't know what damage really means, but you will surely just lose lose weight and become smaller. Another feature that may be implemented is the speed-weight relation. There's no clear indicator in the trailer, but it might be possible that your speed slows down the more you eat. This would strike an interesting balance, as eating food is the primary goal but gives you a lower chance to reach the goal first. It also portrays a fitting comeback mechanic for lesser skilled players who missed out on all the treats at the start but still have the opportunity to catch up with the low weight and speed. However, as Nintendo's Twitter account states, the bigger a Kirby gets, the faster he will be, destroying my theory immediately. Still, this also means a chunky Kirby is more vulnerable to attack since he is easier to hit, so there's still at least some kind of balancing to the gameplay. These are basically all the important information we can gather from the trailer. However, there's still some smaller details like well-known enemies being adjusted to the food theme, or the welcome usage of white eyeball Kirby stare whenever he gets hit or loses at the end. Or did you see the fork, which resembles the Star Road from a certain Kirby game? Another important aspect people are wondering about is online functionality. According to Nintendo's website, a Nintendo Switch Online membership is required for online features, so whatever may happen, there will be some kind of online functionality to the game. But what are your thoughts? Are there more secrets we missed out on? And if so, please tell us in the comments below.